Welcome to the Nerds in Christ podcast, where we level up our faith by finding the gospel in our favorite fandoms. Well, actually, his last episodes we recorded, I was driving home and I was like, we're going to talk about Assassin's Creed. What are we even going to talk about? And then I was like, parkour.
Well, you look.
But think about, okay, so the assassins use the roofs as their own streets because no one's up there. Well, except the guards that are always like, hey, yo, get down.
Yeah.
So looking at Matthew 7:13 through 14, enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter it, but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. So this is Mike words now, no longer the Bible. Wide is the gate, easy is the path on the ground, but hard is the path that's up in the sky in the streets, parkour. Mm-hmm. It hit me hard because it's like we need to, because it's dangerous. Like we talk about all the time on the mountaintop, it's dangerous up there. You could fall.
What is it? Is it Charles Dickens or something like that who wrote The Road Less Traveled? I'm probably that's way older than
somebody wrote it.
But it's so true. You have all these people that take the main road through the main gate where that's not what we're supposed to do. We're called to parkour because you look at Christ.
We are called to parkour.
It's true. You look at Christ.
That's a t-shirt.
He walked everywhere except when he rode on a donkey. Paul, he walked, and when he didn't walk, he was on a boat that got shipwrecked several times. Like, you got all these things. Maybe this is telling us we need to walk down that not so forgiving gate because that narrow path, it might look narrow to us, but on the other side, when we get through that door, it's going to look so much bigger. I look at it this way. What's cooler? You standing on a castle moat on the drawbridge and seeing this huge opening, or walking through this narrow tunnel and all of a sudden everything opening up and you seeing everything?
I like that. Mm-hmm. And the whole idea of the eye of the needle gate.
It's like looking through a keyhole. Yeah. Like, cool, you open the door, but like as kids, if like my great grandparents had the old school actual key,
skeleton key,
nice.
But you can look through it, and that room looks so cool. And then you open it, and you're like, oh, it's just a room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and too, like, you know, just speaking of like in the game, just walking around the streets was dumb, was boring. It's like you only did that if you had to,
like being stealthy.
I did that.
No, not even being stealthy, but just like trying to get somewhere. You just walk, use the streets.
Think about what all is in the streets at that time.
You're crowded. It's smelly. People dumping their waste everywhere. So to get somewhere, you're going to go to the roof and get there quicker, right?
Mm-hmm. You haven't seen me on a ladder.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about in the game. You never used ladders. You used crates and different things like that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's pretty cool. Parkour for Jesus.
Like parkour when I jump off the last step. You know.
Of a ladder. Yeah, parkour.
It's like that scene from The Office where they're jumping and they're like parkour into the box.
I haven't watched like The Office, but I've seen snippets and I've seen that one. It's
cracked
just like,
me up.
Gosh, that video is so
parkour.
Funny. Thank you so much for listening to the Nerds in Christ podcast. Our goal is always to give glory and honor to God in all things and share the love and light of Christ everywhere.